Welcome back, everybody, to You Know What It Is, This Week in Esports and Gaming for the first week of November 2022. I'm your host, 𝗠兄, and there will not be This Week in Esports and Gaming for next week, so enjoy some other types of esports and gaming business content, but just want to let you know ahead of time, and let's dive right into the news. For our first top 3 story, Misfits Gaming Group launched a $20 million creator fund, and they signed 𝗠𝗿 dubbed the Misfits Creator Fund. Misfits will be opening this fund to all creators and influencers to kickstart their creative and sustainable projects as per their press release. They also said that they'll provide things from financial investments to HR, marketing, and operations resources, in addition to helping to do larger projects or live events, conferences, and more. And with this, they also signed 𝗠𝗿 after she recently left TSM as a creator. And creators can apply this in about a 10-field form about themselves and the idea that they actually want help with. So my take on this is that they're pivoting more towards creators than esports. As we know, they got rid of their League of Legends esports franchise spot in the LEC, which could have given them some more money they needed for this fund. Evidently, creators is much more lucrative than esports for a company's bottom line because, there's more scalability in creators, less scalability in esports, especially when you're tied to a franchise. And the lack of having to work with a huge organization like Riot Games or whatever, game publisher you're working with, is maybe that's a little bit better, right? If you can actually just work with one person instead. I also assume the revenue model here is with funding projects, giving a certain, percentage of revenue back to Misfits, and then, whether that be in perpetuity or whatever the length of the deal is. That's kind of what I predict. And organizations are getting, I think, really smart about building creator businesses and how to monetize them. So it'll be interesting to see which projects they actually do fund, which they say yes to, how public it is. They've been big on Minecraft lately with 𝗠𝗿 as well coming on. It seems like they want more mainstream versus niche creators. And this does seem like a little bit of a competitor to Offbrand, which was a recently launched creative agency to help creators do similar things as well. So we'll be, following this to see what happens. Netflix have acquired 𝗠兄, which is the creator of Cozy Grove and 𝗶𝗶. The games 𝗠兄have made are both cartoon and animated games on both PC and mobile as well. So it seems that Netflix is once again going for those homey, fun, casual vibes with the games that they want to further make. And this is Netflix's 4th acquisition since September of 2021. 𝗠兄said in their blog post that this allows them to make games with more support and that resources, and they're not having to worry as much about making a profit for the games because they have that support from Netflix. Instead, they're just focusing on making good games as well. The company was also working on Cozy Grove 2, which is a larger non-violent MMO, and they mentioned the development efforts have not changed. Overall, Netflix is still hungry to do more in gaming as we see these acquisitions, and we can see that, that being said, we saw the stat back in August released by 𝗶𝗶 that showed less than 1% of Netflix subscribers actually playing the games that Netflix Games releases. So, these have to be downloaded as separate apps, so I'm not sure how effective they'll be, but we'll see if 𝗠𝗏's acquisition will make a difference here. Netflix is wanting to reduce subscriber churn by adding new features to keep people actually subscribed, right? Like if you have a bunch of different things that you gain from Netflix, you're going to stay subscribed for longer. But it doesn't seem like people are really playing these games or necessarily interested. They're going to, it looks like go to Steam and other gaming platforms instead. So I feel like Netflix has set aside a large budget for gaming, but if they come back in a year or two and there really hasn't been much subscriber growth for attention from their gaming investments, I'm a bit worried that they're just going to scrap the whole thing or pull the plug. So either way, I'll also continue to follow Netflix's foray into gaming. Riot Games have launched the Rising Stars Women League of Legends tournament, the standalone esports tournament for women with a collaboration between collegiate esports platform 𝗠𝗏 and esports educational tech company GG Tech Entertainment, will take place from November 26th through the 27th. While there will only be a £3,000 prize pool, it will be geared primarily towards the UK, Ireland, and the Nordics, though other regions can participate. And this will be a 2-day event, like I said later, with gender verification being done by DIVE, which is an org promoting gender diversity in esports. Also, students will be taking the lead on the broadcast develop skills necessary for production roles in esports, which is pretty sick. It's, I hopefully part of their degree and maybe helping that as well. I think women initiatives all around in esports, are increasing, which is awesome. And this one is helping students as well. We've seen orgs like W7M Esports introduce equal pay for its men and women's rosters, and Gen G create men's and women's Rocket League teams. There've also been an uptick in women-led CSGO and Valorant teams as well, given those publishers are actually propping up leagues to, or creating those leagues to actually help women get more involved in the esports space. So I think it's awesome that they are doing that. I hope one day that the industry is comfortable enough to make it so that women and men play alongside each other instead of in separate leagues. But for now, I think this is still a step in the right direction. As far as partnerships go, Brazilian esports org Imperial Esports partnered with Audi. The deal was signed prior to their participation in the Rio Major, which they unfortunately were eliminated from without winning a single game. They were responsible for the players' transport during the competition, and they were also used for marketing activations with green cars to represent Imperial's team colors. Would have been cool if Imperial had gotten further into the tournament. Dolce & Gabbana partnered with 𝗠𝗿, MIBR, Scars, and Dark Zero Esports. Really global here because 𝗠𝗿 is Italian, MIBR is Brazilian, Scars is Japanese, and Dark Zero is American. The Good Game Initiative will be a new content series and will also feature a fashion capsule that will be dedicated to gamers inspired by fan favorite retro Galaxy video games, and partnering with streamers like Nate Hill and Pengu to actually promote this content series, so that's also part of the partnership. Fnatic partnered with BMW. These two firms are very familiar with one another, with BMW launching the esports facility for Fnatic in Germany. This will be dubbed the Vision Mouse as the result of their further partnership, and this is made specifically for their League of Legends esports roster. It's been customized to each player's hand shape with improved control, response, and hand comfort as well, and it might be available for the public in the future, but currently it's just for the players. G2 Esports partnered with Next Level Racing. Their G2 racing teams will use Next Level Racing's cockpits for competitions, and the deal will also include community activations and events. NIP partnered with 𝗶𝗶. This merch partnership will have new jerseys made for NIP rosters, and the merch will also be designed using data insights from Fashion Innovation Center. As far as finance and M&A goes, Freedom Games raised $10 million. They'll be using this to expand their developer platform Wiggy.gg, and this was led by Play Ventures with participation from Nashville Capital Network and GFR Fund. Their first game, Dreamscaper, was an RPG that has very positive reviews on Steam. Frontier have acquired the Canadian studio Complex Games. The deal is for £8.3 million for upfront cash consideration, with £3.3 million at stake pending company targets. This is the first acquisition here for Frontier, which is a UK-based firm, and Complex Games notably have made Warhammer 4000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. 4VR have raised a $10 million Series A. This was led by Lobby Capital with participation from Bessemer Venture Partners and Galaxy Interactive as well. They make primarily VR versions of already known games such as darts, cornhole, and bowling, and essentially they want to create the Wii Sports of VR and with a focus on family-friendly games. South Korean firm WeMade have raised $46 million. Participation came from Shihan Asset Management, Kiwam Securities, and Microsoft. For reference, WeMade is a South Korean blockchain-focused company that made games, notably Legends of Mir, and they also have their own blockchain mainnet called WeMex 3.0. As far as the workforce changes go, Cody Luongo joins Rivalry.com as a senior manager for corporate communications. My man Cody's done tons in esports journalism. He has his own sharper report that he does on the intersection of esports and gambling, so go check him out. He was a senior PR associate for 2 years at JSA Partners, doing work for esports and gaming companies, and he's done work with Esports Insider and Ultimate Gaming Championship 2. He holds a master's in communication and media studies from Lynn University. Jared News joins Blizzard as the VP of Overwatch 2. He has tons of gaming experience working at Riot for 4 years doing production for League of Legends, as well as the new MMO coming out. And he's also worked at Bungie, 343 Industries, PopCap, and Microsoft, and all in producer or program manager roles. He has a bachelor's in computer information systems from Western Kentucky University. Don Boyce joins G2 Esports as the head of business development and sales. Don and I have chatted quite a bit and quite a few times, so I'm glad to see him making moves like this always. He has tons of esports sales experience doing partnerships at Liquid, TSM, and Cloud9, all of them in director or VP level roles, so he has tons of experience in the industry. He has a master's in philosophy from LMU and K. Leuven. Yannick Hulshoff joins Twitch as the Senior Director for Partnerships. He rejoins after spending around 8 months at Reddit as a Market Director, and honestly, Reddit seemed like a bit of hiatus for him since he was with Twitch for about 3 years prior to Reddit. He also has 5 years of experience at Google doing marketing and started his own company for about 2 years as well. He has a Master's in European Studies from Maastricht University. Damian Gorzewski joins ESL Faceit Group as the marketing manager for mobile games. Mans has spent about 5 years at Red Bull doing gaming and esports marketing, so that's pretty awesome there. And he also spent time at Kingwin in the past doing PR and community management. He has an MBA from Posnari University of Business. Chrissy Kelleher joins Netflix as the games communication manager. She was a senior director for 47 Communications for 10 dang years, working on tons of gaming projects, which is also super sick, and she holds a bachelor's degree in PR from Boston University. Kevin Flynn joins Creative Assembly as a brand director. He was formerly a senior director for Esports Engine doing program operations, and he has done marketing for about 7 years at Activision as well, working on Call of Duty. He has a bachelor's in contemporary history from the University of Sussex. Sophie Vo joins Savage Game Groups as the GM of the entire organization. She's been an advisor to many investment and venture companies in gaming like Concept Ventures, Wings Interactive, and more. And most recently, she was the studio head and game lead at Voodoo and was also a game lead at Rovio before that. And she holds a bachelor's in marketing and sales from Audencia. Nathaniel Wattenmaker has been promoted to the brand management director at Gearbox Publishing. He's been with Gearbox for about 4 years now as a senior brand manager before his promotion, and he was in comms and writing at Riot for nearly 6 years before on the player behavior team. He holds a bachelor's in history from Florida Gulf Coast University. Thomas Labozinski has been promoted to Marketing Communications Manager at Microsoft. He's been with Microsoft for about 6 years now, and he's worked on partnerships like Cloud9 and the Microsoft partnership in the past. He's done business playing for Xbox Games Marketing as well, and he's now leading the influencer programs for overall Microsoft technologies. He has a bachelor's in marketing from Indiana University, Bloomington. As far as new stuff goes, Global Top Round have announced their M&A branch. For reference, GTR is an interactive accelerator program for studios, and they'll be handling deals in the gaming industry between $10 and $250 million. So those are big boy dollars. And they'll advise on game company acquisitions and work with companies who want to perform exits or get fundraising. Embracer Free Mode have launched an in-house PR team. Embracer Group has lots of companies, so the thought behind this is that having an in-house PR team for the companies under their Free Mode umbrella, which is mainly retro games and devs among other gaming companies, would probably be a good idea. This is led by Alex Very, who's the VP of PR and Comms, and Gabrielle Hibbard, who's the head of PR. Hijinks have launched as a split off from CMD. CMD is an integrated marketing agency, and Hijinks is now another agency focused on gaming, sports, and lifestyle. This will be led by John O'Connell, Adam Poe, and Marie Hirsch. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit once again to the brands and authors themselves for the images and information provided. And shout out to James Fudge once again for his newsletter. If you want to get more insights on the industry and people moving around and workforce changes, things like that, please support him down below. And as always, if you want to find this or if you want to share this to someone else who would find this valuable, I would much appreciate it. Thank you once again, and have a great day, everybody. Tons of esports this weekend, so hopefully you enjoy.